April 18th, 2025. I'm in Norwich, Connecticut. It's a Friday. It is 1:45 p.m. I'm currently on West Town Street, but I'm going to be getting onto Interstate 395 South temporarily. I'm heading to Gales Ferry, which is part of Ledyard, Connecticut. And I want to take a look at what used to be Kartway. They had Go-Karts that you could rent and go around in a track. And they had a batting cage for hitting baseballs. And they had like a dairy bar, ice cream, and milkshakes. And it was kind of they were there for more than 50 years. It's no longer open. I haven't been down there in that area in a while. But what I'd like to do is drive down there, just take a walk around, grab some video of what it looks like now. It opened in 1963. That I know. I read that. I think it was owned by the same family. It probably, it could be owned by that family right now. I don't know, but there's in 2011, that's the last, record that I saw that it was open. I think it was just the Go-Karts. The batting cage was closed. But it's kind of hard to find a real, comprehensive history of that Kartway. But I know tens of thousands of people over the years, probably hundreds of thousands. If it was in business for over 50 years, I would say, the numbers are astronomical if you totaled up everybody that ever went there. By the way, it's incredibly windy. I'm driving on 395 south right now, and this car is kind of being pushed around a little bit. So yeah, we get some aggressive winds out there. We used to go to Kartway. As far as I can remember, I only rode on those Go-Karts one time. I may have done it more, but one time sticks in my memory because I was riding around. You pay like a certain amount for like 10 minutes. You would pay, I forget the prices, $5 for 10 minutes of driving around, whatever the numbers were. I don't know the numbers on how much it costs. I'm sure it varied throughout the 50-year history. But, I was driving around that track, and those Go-Karts, it's a conventional Go-Kart, but it is surrounded by a rectangle. It's completely surrounded by like a rectangle of welded on steel. In other words, the wheels, it had like a circle of, it wasn't circular, it was a rectangle with rounded corners of steel around the Go-Karts. So if you, bashed into somebody, it wouldn't do any damage to the Go-Kart. But I do recall one time going around that track, somebody from, that was coming from behind me. I'm just driving along, and somebody absolutely rammed into me as I get off this ramp here. Absolutely rammed into me at a, significant speed, snapping back my head. It was like, that's a memory, that was drilled into me with my head snapping back. I think I'm very lucky that nothing, really serious happened, but that's the one, again, I may have gone on those go-karts more than that one time, but that's definitely the time that sticks out, which makes sense. It had tremendous, mental, psychological impact on me at the time as far as memory is concerned. But they had batting cages. We used to get out there and hit baseballs, and the mechanical arm would throw a baseball at you. I mean, I don't know I think variable speeds, they had different levels of, beginner or whatever, intermediate, beginner. Somebody step in there and get a real, like I don't know, about 100 miles an hour, but a real serious fastball thrown at him. I think I might have tried that once, and considering the fact I didn't make contact with anything, not even close, I dialed it back down to the stuff I could, crush. And then you'd go over, you get an ice cream. I mean, that was a great place. That was a automatic fun. For 50 years, from 1960 through 50 years plus. I don't know it's 63, and it was still open in 2011. So I mean, we can do the math. Maybe it was still open after 2011. I don't even know that. I could drive down there now. Maybe the ice cream thing is open. I don't think so, but the ice cream, the dairy portion of that Kartway, spelled with a K. I mean, I hope I don't get down there and the whole thing is gone, but let's take a look. I'll drive down, get out of the car, walk around, try to grab some video. I mean, Valides, we used to get down here. I mean, I personally used to come down to Valides, which is right near there. As a matter of fact, I'll pull in the parking lot of what used to be Valides for people that, I get a lot of people that lived in Norwich like many, many years ago, 30, 40, 50 years ago, and they kind of drop me messages and things, and they would recall Valides very clearly, because that was an extremely popular store that was kind of way ahead of its time. And I used to get out there all the time and look at record albums. Vinyl 33s, 33 RPMs. They had good album sales. They had great sporting goods. I mean, it was just clothing, you name it, they had. I love Valides. That's one of the definite top-tier stores in this area in the, 60s, 70s, 80s. I don't know. Again, that's somebody would know the history of its of the reign of Valides and Gales Ferry better than I would, but I have good memories, very fond memories of going down to Valides all the time. I remember I got my driver's license. I went down there and looked at albums constantly. I mean, it's, the latest release from Leonard Skinner and, all the greats of the 70s. That's when I spent my time down there. It had to be 76 up for me looking at albums. But it was a lot of fun. I'm on Route 12 right now, heading to Kartway. Holmberg's orchards on the left, best orchards around. I mean, you pick apples and a variety of fruit up there when they're in season. Blueberries, raspberries, peaches. I'm not even gonna, just on and on and on. Holmberg's top of the line, considered the best by everybody. It's kind of a no-brainer. You just gotta, if you live around here, you gotta go to Holmberg's frequently. And they have a store that runs year-round down there. You can buy vegetables, fruit, baked goods. It's all top of the line stuff. The people that run the place Do an absolutely beautiful job every year. As we head down Route 12 on this very windy, very bright day, Stoddard Hill Park to my right back there. There's a boat launch down there. People fish when stripers and blues are running. That place will be pretty crowded with fishermen down there. People fishing. There's a train track that goes right through there. If I kept going straight, I'd hit Groton. The Thames River, the huge Thames River, to our right now. I don't know if you can get a glimpse of it on that wide-angle lens on this camera, but it's there. Okay, so we're crossing into Gales Ferry right now. Right now we're in Gales Ferry. Heading towards Kartway. And before I do that, I'm going to, like I said, I'll pull in. We'll get a look at where Valady used to be. Speed limit is 45 miles per hour on this particular road. There is a fire station to my left up here. Gales Ferry Fire Company. To my right used to be Dow Chemical. Now, I don't know, Cashman or something. It looks like a different name. It used to be Dow Chemical. Whether it's still Dow Chemical, I don't know. I didn't see a big sign. They used to have a sign saying Dow Chemical. Now it's at I think Cashman. I just got a glance at it, but not 100% sure about that. We're rapidly approaching our destination. I got my fingers crossed that I'm going to be able to grab footage of that Kartway. Complex. You never know. Sometimes you drive to these places and you look at it and you go, wow, there's nothing left. It's nothing but a vacant lot. Or there's construction, or there's just stuff going on, you know. All right, before I hit Kartway, which is probably a quarter of a mile down the road, I'm going to turn in here to look at what Valady's used to be. Now it is Dollar Tree and Ocean State Job Lot. So as I turn, this is a, you know, if this was 1978. All right, Gales Ferry Spirit Shop. That looks like it's been there a while. Right here, right there, that Dollar Tree, I think, was where Valady was. Matter of fact, let me go back here, and I'll drive right up to it, do a virtual, as if it was 1978, probably my favorite music year of all time. All right, Valady, right there. Not now, but back in the day. Back in the glory days. And I'm going to get a look at another section. I mean, this parking lot is in mint condition. It's like brand new. This is part of Valady too, probably. Now it's Ocean State Job Lot. And there's something down the end here called GOAT. What is that? Physical Therapy and Wellness. GOAT. I'm not sure what that... GOAT usually stands for greatest of all time, so maybe that has something to do with that. Let's get down to Kartway. I might go across the street from Kartway first to get a kind of a wide view, if I can, if there is a area that I can do that. CVS Pharmacy. There's a lot of new stuff. If you haven't been in Norwich for 35 or Gales Ferry for 35 years or so, then a lot of this stuff was not here. All right, there's people over at Kartway. They're parked over there. I don't know why. It's going to make it difficult for me to walk around and film. What are they doing? Having a car wash? Or there's some kind of a sale going on, but just let me pull in here. Very, very quickly so I can get a look at Kartway from a different angle. My assumption is those people are going to be wondering, why is this guy filming us? They're selling Girl Scout cookies there. But anyways, there is, hopefully you can see it across the way there, Kartway. I'm going to do my best. I mean, we got, actually, let me go out this way. We got Girl Scouts selling cookies, and I don't want to bother them. So I'll figure something out. But I do want to film. I do want to get some film in there. There's a lot of traffic. Maybe somebody's getting out of work. Well, it's 2 o'clock. I don't know why there would be. Wouldn't seem like a time people would be getting out of work, but it's... Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can grab some footage. I gotta find a place to park. A legit place to park. There it is. I'm just gonna park down here very briefly while I walk around. Hopefully nobody cares that I'm parking here. That ends this driving portion of the video. I may do more driving and record it, but this Norwich to Kartway portion of the video is now over. So this is the Kartway track. You can see the tires. I mean, this thing hasn't been used in several years. I don't know how long. I don't know the details on the... it was open for 50 plus years, but I do not know when it closed. 2011, I mentioned that earlier, things were still happening, but if anybody really knows the details of this situation, drop me a line. I'm curious. This little window you see on the side there, I think that was a place that you would get tickets, in that little building right there. Here's a look at the road in Gales Ferry that people would drive down. They would park. I'm walking right on the area that people would park, one of the areas. No trespassing sign right there on the side of the building. And we'll walk over here, take a look over this fence, get a different angle on this track. Cars, these go-karts used to line up in those slots, those metal, rails, and they would basically, launch from that area. As we sweep across for a good look at that track. All right, I'm going to take a walk up to what used to be batting cages. And actually behind this building, this is a dairy, or kind of a creamery, ice cream and milkshakes and just everything. Tons of sundaes and banana splits, the whole 9 yards. It was a blast. You come up here, you were set for the evening or for the day, because you had batting cages, you had ice cream, and you had go-karts. I mean, what more could anybody ask for, a kid or whatever? Even adults loved it. But this building, obviously, right now is, it's in rough shape. These doors, there's a door open here. Okay, let's take a look inside. There are tons of baseballs. So that's obviously for the machines, the batting cages, which we'll take a look at in a moment. But there's, I don't know, dozens and dozens of baseballs. They're kind of worn out. It's a handle. This is probably one of the entrances. The staff went in there maybe. Another no trespassing sign. Let's look through this fence. Off in the distance, you can see the machines that would throw baseballs at various speeds. Let's zoom in on these things. So, if you hit the ball to a certain length or whatever, a spot, it would say double. There was a sign, double, home run, whatever. I mean, if you really nailed it, you could get a home run, a lot of doubles there. These machines were deadly accurate, and they threw that ball fast, depending on, another no trespassing sign. Really, really fast, depending on your skill level. You would work your way up the ranks, the speed. So there you go. There's another wide view. I used to get down here, step in, and swing that bat and try to hammer that thing coming in at me. I tried to, I mentioned it, the high speed one time. I didn't make contact at all. It's the side of the building. The creamery, the dairy bar. And we're going to take a walk around. There's a look at the side of the building. It's, obviously needs to be painted. There's air conditioning units up there. I think there were Girl Scouts selling cookies over there, I'm pretty sure. Or they were selling something, young kids, and my assumption it was Girl Scout cookies. But here's the front. You would approach this right here. There would be, multiple employees in there dishing out ice cream and, give me a milkshake, a banana split, whatever. They served it all. Let's take a side view. They had picnic tables. You could sit on the table right here, have maybe a hot dog or a hamburger and ice cream. I don't know about the hot dogs and hamburgers. I'm not sure. If anybody knows, let me know. Okay, we're getting a closer look. I want to get a better look at these machines. They're kind of, weathered and broken down. But these are the things that fired the baseballs at, the people trying to hit the ball right there. And as I said, these things were deadly accurate. They put that ball right in your wheelhouse pretty much every time. There's another good look at them. But it's all fenced in like it was years ago. They don't want baseballs flying out of there. It was completely contained. There's a good side view of that dairy area with the ice cream and everything. Take a brief walk over here. Another picnic table, no trespassing signs. And there's a sign there. I can't make it out. There's some vague. You could freeze the frame and try to figure that thing out. But it's very worn. It's really hard to tell what it says. There's the main sign with that big ice cream cone on the side of that sign, indicating that, they sold ice cream, and that was the big draw. I mean, what kid doesn't want to ice cream and ride on go-karts? I mean, and we'll take a good sweeping view up the street. So you would drive up that road, turn in here, park. Plenty of parking in front of the the dairy bar. There's a good shot of it right there from the side. Okay, now let's zoom in. I want to make some camera adjustments here. I want to get a closer shot, as close as I can, without disturbing the Girl Scouts here. So there's that sign with that ice cream cone. And that's that, it was lit up at night. And there's just a really good picture of that really iconic. I would call it iconic because it was over 50 years serving ice cream, and people were using the go-karts. This metal is still in decent shape around it. But over 50 years of serving up fun for thousands and thousands of people for years and years, decade after decade. It was a staple. It was a must do if you were anywhere in the area. It was a guarantee. If you didn't have anything to do, you'd say, let's get down to Gales Ferry and hit some baseballs, which are right there, grab an ice cream, and then we'll jump on the go-karts. I'm going to get a better look at the track from this angle. Let's see if I can zoom in here. And we sweep across, get a good view. Hopefully this is bringing back some good memories. There's another angle on the batting cage. All right, now let's zoom in a little bit here. There we go. That was that track and the operation and the way the folks that owned it ran that establishment, that business, they were fantastic. I mean, they really, people had a blast down there. And it was because of the folks that ran this track, this business, this whole operation. They did an absolutely beautiful job and people had so much fun there, so many memories. There it is, right there. It's a good view of the side of that building. Grab your tickets and ride 10 minutes around. They'd time you, and there was so much, I don't know, a certain amount, $5 for 10 minutes, whatever it was, whatever the price was. That's how they did it. It was all timed. There's that window. I think you get tickets there. I'm not sure. Those rails, you would go up and down, like in a line. It was a popular place. There's an old tire on the ground. It was a very, very popular place. Let's take one last panoramic view of the track. So we took a walk around Kartway. I didn't want to get too, close to the people. I think it's Girl Scouts selling cookies. I didn't want to disturb those kids and, the parents and everything. I kind of, guy with a camera walking around filming. It's a little, it can be a little dicey, but I think I got pretty much everything I wanted to get. I'm on Christie Hill Road in Gales Ferry right now, but I figured, I'm here. I gotta head back, but why not record video? I mean, I can't see driving back and not grabbing some footage on a crystal clear day like today, especially when I'm as far out as Gales Ferry. So, I can take different alternative ways to get back And this is, I guess we would consider this bonus footage. If you're watching it now, then I included it in the video. Otherwise, it got deleted and nobody ever saw it. But let's roll up the road. This is military highway, too, according to my GPS in this car. It's Route 12, but an alternative name for this would be military highway. Again, a decent amount of traffic. On Route 12 at this hour, 2:20 p.m. But we got the Kartway situation. The grounds down there covered. It's completely closed. No more go-karts, no more ice cream, no more batting cage. Those days, at least for now, are over. But let's take a drive. We'll follow Route 12 for a while. I mean, I'm not going to do anything completely, off the charts here. I'm heading back to Norwich, but you just never know what you're going to run into. So, there's no such thing as too much video on these drives. That's my that's my opinion. The more footage I gather, the better. Years to come, people will have more and more, miles and miles of video to research and pore over if they want to. Big FedEx truck there on the right. Now, if somebody's watching this, 45 years from now, does FedEx still exist? My guess would be probably not. 45 years is a long time. AI and quantum computing and a whole bunch of other stuff that we're not even thinking of right now is going to be happening in the next 45 years. Now, whether FedEx can sustain all those changes and the world is as it is now remains to be seen. As we approach Holmberg's Orchard, that's the building, that red with a little sign above there to your right, where they sell fresh fruits, vegetables, a whole bunch of really baked goods, top of the line stuff. All right, we're crossing into Preston right now. Pocatonic Cove. This is a bridge I'm on right now. We're going over the top of Pocatonic Cove. The fine for littering in this area is $219. There's an incinerator, a trash incinerator, kind of a controversial project back in the day. David's Cafe back there to my left, by the way. Kind of a controversial project years ago, but it's there. It's been there for decades. I'm going to go straight. I'll go past the former Norwich Hospital grounds. I have tons of footage regarding Norwich Hospital, like a walking tour of the grounds and the roads surrounding Norwich Hospital, different buildings that are still standing. Believe me, there's not much left. Most of the buildings at Norwich Hospital have been demolished. As we cruise up the road and get the red light, a lot of people take this road coming back from the casino, and they go to the casino. This way as well. This road kind of merges here into one lane. It's two lanes and then kind of merges right here. So right now we're on the grounds, we're cutting through the grounds of the former Norwich Hospital. And it's looking really, really ragged. The administration building still stands, but it's been really hammered by vandals over the years. I think it closed. That hospital, I think, closed in 1997. We just crossed from Preston into Norwich, so we're in Norwich, Connecticut right now. So we're basically leaving the grounds of the former Norwich Hospital on Route 12, Military Highway. Actually, right now we're on Laurel Hill Road. So Laurel Hill. Beautiful welcome sign. Meticulously painted back there. It says, "Welcome to Norwich." As we cruise ever so peacefully on this 64-degree April 2025 day in Norwich, Connecticut. So we're still on Laurel Hill Road. Laurel Hill Road, somewhere, I don't know where, but it changes. I got an eye on my GPS. It changes into maybe Laurel Hill Avenue or something. Well, I'll let you know when we get there. Speed limit on this road is actually 25 miles an hour. That seems a little low, but it is kind of narrow in here, so it kind of makes sense. Okay, now we're on Laurel Hill Avenue. So back there, not 50 feet back there, it changed from Laurel Hill Road into Laurel Hill Avenue. Why that is the case, I have no idea. If anybody knows, drop me a line. As we continue to cruise down Laurel Hill Avenue towards the city of Norwich, Connecticut. Down city. That's where this is heading in that direction. As we soak in the scenic drive through Laurel Hill. There's a lot of beautiful houses on Laurel Hill. Some incredible mansions, really, up on, I think it's, let me see the name of the street. I want to get it right. Summer Street, yeah. On Summer Street, up there to the right. I don't know if you can see it. Those mansions are incredible. Beautiful views of the Norwich Harbor. There you can see the city hall in the background and big churches and buildings and everything. All right, I got a yellow. I'm going to stop right here. Straight ahead, you get the train trestle, you get the back of the Otis Library, you get the Eastern Connecticut Bank is in the Disco building. We'll catch some of these cars driving by and trucks and everything. And I'm going to go over the viaduct, work my way back home. But you gotta get footage, right? If I wasn't recording, I mean, there's a car down here with a dog sticking his head out. We wouldn't have got that if I didn't have this thing on record. If I didn't hit the record button, I would have missed that. There's some valuable footage we're going to gather. I just got that feeling. I'm looking at the building behind Reed and Hughes building. They're fixing it up. I mean, it looks pristine. That building was in disrepair for decades. Now it's looking real good. Very exciting project. All right, here we go, over the viaduct. And to the left, behind the old YMCA, they're constructing a big business office and also a microbrewery, and it's coming along. Things, I think they got the asbestos and the lead or, whatever hazardous materials out of there. So now things are really starting to really move at a real brisk pace. Construction is, they're putting the pedal to the metal now. It's going to be worth the wait. But, when you do eliminate asbestos and lead and whatever other potential hazardous materials from a building, it's a long, drawn-out process just to remediate the structure. To the setup alone. The prep work. We're on North Main Street right now. But, all the prep work and everything. So, yeah, they're done with the hard part's over. Now comes the guys and men and women, just straight up construction. As we drive down North Main Street, I have no idea which way I'm going to drive back. But let's roll. Grab some footage. Norwich Public Utilities building to our right. We're going to be crossing into Greenville, into the Greenville section. Okay, we're in Greenville right now. Kind of a fork in the road. I'm on Central Avenue right now. All right, let me get on to Prospect. I mean, I have full comprehensive coverage of every street in Greenville. I don't know about everyone, but the vast majority of streets in Greenville. If you're interested, if you grew up there, you want to look at Greenville, how it looks in, maybe 2024, I might have done that video, or prior to that. Feel free to take a look, because some of those videos are long, like well over an hour. I go up every, First Street, Second Street, third, every single street. I cover everything. I'm on Hickory Street right now. You know what? Just let me pull up here for a second. I get the occasional. I mean, this is, again, a bonus footage. This is all extra stuff. If you love watching videos and a person driving where you have no idea where, there's a little suspense. Gee, I wonder where he's going to go. You're in the right place, because we did the Go-Karts. But right in front of us used to be, I get requests for this periodically, Greenville School. Right there, that empty lot. Let me pull around here. Point this. I got this camera on the front of this car. Right there. See that green grass? That's where Greenville School used to be. It's not there anymore. I guarantee somebody watching this thing right now is like, man, am I glad that guy went up that road. I went to Greenville School when I was a kid. That's what they're saying to themselves right now. So that's, if that happened, I'm pretty sure it did, this one's for you. I'm going to get back onto Hickory Street. I mean, I can do anything I want here. I'm not going to burn too much time. But I got a variety of ways on getting back to my final destination. So this is Hickory. That was Golden Street back there when I drove up to Greenville, the former location of the Greenville Elementary School. I'm just going to continue down. Let me think here for a minute. Let's go straight. Let's go straight ahead. I have full coverage of Hickory Street. One day I took a walk up the full length of Hickory Street, all the way up and back on foot, and recorded video. Every single house on Hickory Street, if you're interested. Again, I have multiple choices. Let's go up Orchard Street. I'm going to work my way back. I think Orchard kicks into Rockwell, if I'm not mistaken. This is a steep hill right here. By the way, there's an absolutely mind-blowing view up here. We're not going to be able to see it with this camera. It's not high enough on the car. But I'm looking to my left. I mean, I can see the Mohegan Sun from here. It's just, I can see the whole city. I'm above the city. I'm going to have to come up here on foot one of these days and just sweep the camera and get a panoramic view. I'm looking to my left. It's incredible. We're way above houses. I mean, way above, where you can see just everything. It must be incredible at night, too. So that's on Orchard Street. Which I'm on right now. Okay, Orchard, when I go left here, that's going to turn into Rockwell. So this is Rockwell, right here. I am now on Rockwell Street. Another beautiful street in Norwich, Rockwell Street. Some very nice homes up here. Butternut Drive to my right. There's some really amazing architecture up on Butternut Drive, like, mid-century modern stuff up there. It's just that was the street back, maybe the 50s. That's when they were, really prominent people were building some incredible homes up there. So this is, I am on McKinley Avenue extension right now. So McKinley Avenue extension, that's another one of these roads. Now I'm on Reynolds Road. So you're kind of driving along and all of a sudden the road changes into another name, in this case Reynolds Road. As we gather this incredible bonus footage. There's some really, really nice houses up here too, on the left and on the right. We're going to get up to what used to be called a rec field, but it's Dickenman Field to the right. That stone building, baseball. Brand new tennis courts in front of us. Again, if you're interested in like seeing this stuff close up, do a search in my channel. I got stuff I'm on the ground walking around up here. There used to be a road straight ahead that led directly into Mohegan Park, and that road no longer exists. Right there, it's, no trespassing. Robert W. Spain basketball courts up there. They're beautiful basketball courts, maintained. Kelly Middle School to my left. We're on Mahan Drive. It's a beautiful soccer field and track up there to my right, which, by the way, is going to get some major work done to it this year, I believe. Senior Center to my right. Norwich Regional Technical School to my left. Used to be Three Rivers or Mohegan Community College, but now it's Norwich Tech. Over there on the right is a skateboard park. There's actually quite a few people that use that skateboard park. Pickleball. There's a pickleball court back there too. I'm going to get off Mahan Drive. I'm going to get onto Ox Hill Road. I'm going to take a left. And I'm going to swing over to Ox Hill Road and cruise down a little bit. And that's going to bring me to Harland Road. I think I'm going to take a right on Harland. Again, I can go left, I can go right. It's just... it's tough to decide. But I am working my way back to the Norwich town area. And then I'm going to have to just shut things down. We got Kartway. That's the big get as far as I'm concerned. But I'm getting off Harlan Road. I'm going to turn onto Wayne Street right now. The trees are starting to bud. I mean, it's, mid-April. We've had a decent amount of rain. You can see the trees there, they're starting to show signs of life. Wayne Street, a very nice residential street with a lot of beautiful homes. I'm going to take a left onto Stewart Road. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, that's going to bring me to Canterbury Turnpike, I believe. Yeah, I'm going to take a left onto Canterbury Turnpike. You got to be careful in this one spot right here. There's a hill to the left. You know, if cars come speeding over that, you got to just really, you just got to keep an eye out for that. So we're on Canterbury Turnpike right now. In the Norwich town section of Norwich, Connecticut. This is a beautiful road with a lot of older homes, very, you know, visually pleasing, very picturesque. A lot of pride of ownership on Canterbury Turnpike. I mean, it's evident. So Canterbury Turnpike is coming to an end. Let me get my bearings. Yeah, that's just going to blend right into East Town Street. So we're on East Town Street right now. So we're going to shut things down here really soon. If I'm in this area, I like to get kind of close to the First Congregational Church off the Norwich Town Green, and lately I've been having kind of a habit of closing up shop around that area as far as these videos are concerned. So we're approaching that right now. It's a beautiful church. It's on the right. On the left is Johnson Home. That's a beautiful building. Right there. Got a stop sign here. And that's the end of the video.